Hello everybody and welcome to Lucky by Nature. I am Beastdaemon and thank you for hanging out with me today. Please show your amazing support by smashing the like button, and if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you can get your daily dose of ARK. Alright guys, so for us to get this pro tip started, I'm on a Megalosaurus, and what I'm gonna do right here is I am going to grab this guy from the air as it's flying, because as you know, or I hope you know, that you can't actually use bolas on these guys. So now let's just go ahead and hurry into our little trap, which is just a 1x1x2. And on this side, all it has is door frames on, so that's how I can squeeze it right in, and it's automatically stuck. And so that's pretty much it. So this one is nice and easy, and you can do this with other flyers, obviously not the big ones, but the Megalosaurus is very helpful. Unfortunately, you just have to do all this at night, obviously, but you can also use a Capro for other things like the spider and just small things like that. But let's go ahead and move on. Alright guys, so for this next tip, I'm going to show you what you need to do if you find yourself in this situation where you're running low on stam, but you can't really afford to go down to the ground and land because that Giga might, mess you up. Or if you are in Aberration and you are on one of the drakes and you're on the wall and you can't afford to, get down to the ground for whatever reason, the best thing to do is to make sure that you carry some auric mushrooms. I hope I said that correctly. And just make sure that you're not going fast, or if you're on a drake, you just have to stop moving. Even if you're on the side of the wall and you don't have anything else to sit on. And just go ahead and force feed the mushrooms to your dino. And as you can see, it's getting its stam back. And they can go up to 60, I believe, per mushroom. Obviously, you're not going to get that many since we're in mid-air. But if you're in a pickle, obviously that is the best thing to do. But as you can see, it's still going up, and it will continue going up. I mean, I gave it a good amount, about 27. But like I said, that's just in case you are in some kind of trouble, or if you are in the middle of battle and you can't afford to land because they're ready to attack you with rhinos or gigas or whatever. Now let's take a look. See, it's still going up. So as long as you go slow, you should be fine. So let's go ahead and move on. Alright guys, for this tip, I'm gonna go over the insulating dinos. There are typically 4 that I know of. I think that's it. And it's the penguins, it's the otter, it's the bear, and the Dimetrodon. Alright, so these guys basically protect you from colds. And they're stackable, of course. If you get right smack in the middle and we look at our insulation, as you can see, the hypothermal insulation is 86. One on its own is around 25, I believe. So let's take a look here. Wow, this one's chipping me off by giving me oh, okay, there we go, 25. So I mean, they're okay. You can incubate some eggs, but they're not that great, to be honest. And even if you walk really close to them in the snow, not that great. So now if we move on to the dire bear, the dire bear does provide both hypothermal and hyperthermal. As you can see, 34. But believe it or not, its best spot is not by the head or the side. As you can see, that's even worse. Over here by its shoulder, 18. But if you come down over here by its butt, where it can poop on you, that's where you're going to get the most. And let me see if I can get a little bit more here. Oh, getting close. I think the most I've gotten is like 41 or so. But that's close enough. But also, it is a little cool. So that could be it. Now, if we go over to the otter, this one is even better. Because look at that hypothermal. 203. That is huge. And like I said, that is... Ooh, look, I got even closer and it's 323. The hyperthermal is 149. So it does protect you from the cold a lot better than it does from the warmth or from the heat. But there's a significant difference between this and either the bear or the penguins. For those, you can add melee and it doesn't help you at all. But this guy, and also actually the Dimetrodon, they both go higher the more melee they have. The better they do as far as protecting you. So, for instance, melee damage, I know this is extremely high, 495, but you know, that's why I like this one. But let's go ahead and give it some more here. Screw it, let's put every single bit into it. Well, not every bit. Let's just keep it there. Let's move back for a bit so we can reset back to 0. Now let's go up to it again. Look at that, 388. But if you pick them up, put them on your person, then look at that, 476. That is massive. Ooh, look at that, 480. So obviously you can go into the snow with this little guy and you should be fine. I don't know that it can handle the murder snow. It might. I haven't tested it. That's something that you guys can do. But like I said, if we were to look at this melee at 609 and we get that really good almost 400 hypothermal there, and if we put it on, we go up to 508. Jesus. that is really high. Okay, the reason I did that is because now we're going to go over here and take a look at the Dimetrodon. And this one is at 448. Not quite as high as that otter. That otter is insane. So let's get it to 464. And now let's back up a bit. Okay, we're back down to zeros. Now let's go right up to it. Right against it. And we're at 469. And it's both hypo and hyper. And that is significant because one of these guys, like this one here, is actually the equivalent of 4 ACs. So let's go take a look. And also I found that the Dimetrodons, the area that they cover is a little bit better than the otter. But of course the otter is, you know, supposed to be used to basically protect you from the weather while you're out there in the middle of nowhere in the cold. But here I have 16 ACs, and that is good enough to incubate a Wyvern egg. So if we go right around the middle here and we look, and we are dealing with about 1429. All you need, I believe, is 1300 in order to incubate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1300. So this one is sufficient enough, and we can move a little bit. Let's see. See, it's still for. Oh no, 1100. So that if we put the egg right here, that would not work. This is more towards the center, so that would work perfectly. It's 1358. The center is around 14, almost 1500. But here I have four Dimetrodons, and so if we go to the center of these guys. So you can see 1544. It's not bad. I think these guys are a little bit better. Or not. But anyways, they do have a couple of levels. But you see at 439, that's not bad at all. Imagine if you went ahead and made some babies out of these guys and imprinted on them and all that good stuff to give them the extra stats. I mean, you could have something really, really good. And right there, as you saw, it was plenty high to be able to incubate a Wyvern Egg. And I do have a Wyvern Egg over here. It's really low level, but that's okay. It serves the purpose. So I can show you that this is really all you need. You don't need to get all big and fancy. Oops, maybe a little bit closer. So as you can see, it's incubating just fine. And you can probably fit, I don't know, 3 or 4 right here. And you should be good to go. But to build 16 ACs, that does take a lot of stuff. A lot of resources. So this is the way that we used to do it when we were in primitive. Because obviously we could not build metal, much less ACs or electronics or any of that stuff. We couldn't build it. But to show you what one of these ACs can do is just a little bit over 112. So yeah, not that great. So this is definitely something that you can do there. And I mean, they're not the hardest things to get, especially I'm pretty sure that you can grapple these guys. But that's something that I may have to do later. But I didn't want to take too long to try to explain this, so I hope this helps you out. But that's it for me. So until next time, keep surviving.
My work saved the human race.